some aspects could make it more difficult, whereas the lady would say, "Oh, you can come."
That's sexy, right? It's sexy when a woman does that, no?
That is freaking sexy.
Yeah, there's something to that. As soon as that is like, I want you to come. It's like, hey, wait a second. That activates something.
I'll not be the Dalai Lama, but I'll be just a llama. Just spitting at people. Here, feel enlightened. Here.
And whilst you are having sex, you just say all the things that you desire. Say all the things you want to manifest. And let her just receive it and feel it. Now you're using the combination, the kundalini, basically, of the feminine and the masculine spiraling upwards as a tool to really manifest amazing stuff. And Noah.
Yeah, we got a little guest here.
Yeah, for the ones not watching but listening, I have a little Noah, little baby on my chest. But he seems to be waking up soon, so we're gonna have to interrupt the podcast soon and then bring him down to mom. But mom was meditating, so I decided, you know what, I'll just start with him here, and maybe he even likes the soothing of my voice to sleep and chill out. And I mean, he's probably gonna be a speaker himself since his parents both love to speak. So he's already getting the experience of being on a podcast, being 11 weeks old.
That's a pro. That's a pro in potential pro.
You can never start too early. Oh, I saw this video of this father starting to play football with his son at like, I don't know, like a couple months old or something like that. That he was laying on the ground and then he put a ball in front of his feet and then he was like kicking, of course, not really kicking the ball, but just kicking.
Yeah.
And then you see him like in a year and then 2 years and he's like playing football with him, and now he's like 7 years old and he's really playing football, and it's like dedication as well for that video to make that, you know. He was really committed to making his son a football star.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, hey, you also need talent, right? I mean.
Oh. Yeah. Enough podcast? Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna bring him down.
Yeah, back. Cool. Gotcha. Did I just hear Joe Dispenza?
Yeah, I told you my girlfriend Leia, she's meditating, and it's a struggle for her because always when she has him, and then she wants to meditate, and she's like, he's sleeping, so I can meditate, and then she starts meditating and then he wakes up, so she's like trying to find the time to meditate. That's why I kept him here now for a little bit, so that she could at least meditate. I think she's now 20-30 minutes in, so at least she had some time to meditate. And now she will continue even, but then with him laying kind of in her lap, and as long as he's okay with laying, and he seems to be pretty chill. He's awake, but he seems to be pretty chill often when he hears Joe Dispenza's voice. Since and my hypothesis is that when he was 7 months in the belly.
Yeah.
We were in Mexico for a 10-day retreat at Joe Dispenza.
Yeah.
So he was basically meditating also every day, you know, hearing Joe's voice and the music. So somehow it becomes really, really chill as well.
Cool.
Yeah. But it's always a little bit different because he moves a little bit, sometimes a sound here and there. So your meditation already becomes a little bit less deeply into the space, into the nothingness. Because there is not just nothing, there's also something on your lap. He's making sound.
Something into the nothingness, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But it was nice. Noah's first podcast experience, even though it was just 2 minutes. So, me here shortly from another moment, not in the podcast, but to shortly explain to you that in this next clip, we took out a part before because it wasn't working well. And so we're talking here about Martin's work and specifically what as an actor he loves to do and what is for him the more serious stuff in his work. And maybe that's something that resonates with you, that you don't like everything about your work, but certain parts. He explains that. And then afterwards, we also dive into a very interesting topic, which is related to the ice cold water and how we use that in order to get ourselves into the best possible state. And then afterwards, we dive into the topic of sexuality and how we practice also something called non-ejaculatory orgasms. So stay tuned for this amazing, funny, edgy, and also very insightful episode on the heart of being human. Enjoy. Just for people to get a view on it, what's the serious stuff compared to the more fun stuff in your work? Because I think it's a very fascinating thing.
Serious stuff is, well, I mean, serious stuff is sometimes also, working for productions and setting up for, roles where you really have to do it very strict. But also courses where, it's about behavior, it's about like real problems
where
that
you
people
go
are
into
experiencing.
companies, right? And you're like how do you call that? What kind of actor you call that again?
Yeah, in Holland here they call it training actor.
Yeah. So you're in trainings to help people manage difficult behavior, for example, and then you're playing the person that is, for example, having the difficult behavior.
Yeah. I work my ass off for all kinds of these like courses and stuff, and I love doing it. Still, in the bottom, it's not where my passion flows. It's not where
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So more like it's not the full me.
Yeah. It's not your highest purpose, your highest vision to live.
No. And I mean, I'm very grateful. I don't want to be a moaner or whatever. I don't think I'm a moaner. I can be a moaner, and if I'm a moaner, fuck it, I'm a moaner. But moaning, by the way, moaning isn't sexual, right? That's sexual, right? No, it is sexual. Grumpy dude. Yeah. I don't want to be a grumpy dude.
Oh, you do want to moan.
Yeah.
Let me let you moan a lot.
Moan all the time, baby. Yeah. No, so that's not how I do it, by the way.
I was like, interesting. Yeah. Okay. Everyone their own style. Perfectly fine. No judgment about that.
Yeah, Buffalo Jack going his way. No.
But last week you also helped a friend out at a festival with a karaoke bar or something like that, right? What was that? And did you love doing that?
Well, yeah, you got like a little karaoke bar going on, but I mean, it was in the middle, in the beginning of the day, right? So there are still a lot of people, that didn't show up yet. They I don't know. They gather around probably 3 to 4 o'clock, and then slowly they start joining the festival.
Yeah.
So I there was not a lot of people in the karaoke.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love karaoke. I love it. But the thing that I love most about karaoke is with a lot of people around, right? So you can feel the energy, you can laugh with each other and stuff. And that was not particularly the case.
And so your task there was to also get people to come in and to spark the excitement, or what was the?
Yeah, exactly. And I was helping a friend out. I mean, he needed someone for that day, and we went together, and he went to join some people, network a little bit, because he does events and stuff like that. So it was okay. What I liked most about the week being off radar is that I was just away for a week with friends. I was not at home. I was not in my own place. And what I love most about it is cooking every night or evening. I love cooking. I love doing that. I love and the tone of appreciation and the acknowledgement and like the responses from it. That's they are actually thinking of using me as a cook for their new restaurant concept, which is pretty cool. I mean, I feel honored. Don't know if I'm gonna do that because I mean, I'm not gonna throw away my career. But I
Because that would be a full-time thing then.
well, or part-time, but still, I mean, part-time or the full-time, it's sometimes it doesn't really differ that much from each other.
No. But it's a beautiful compliment, though.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
No, it is. I mean, I'm very thankful for that, and very aware also of the fact that that is a compliment, and I love, I really love doing that, just being there together with everyone. Sometimes there were more people coming up, then I also made food for them, fine. Sometimes I cooked twice a day, oh good. That for me, that was a lovely part of being off radar, and sometimes taking a dip whenever possible, mostly later in the day, because first I had to work.
Because there was water nearby, or what do you mean?
Yeah. There was it was sort of like a lake. I guess it's like a nature lake.
Was it cold?
Or it was cold. Yeah, it was cold, but it was
Still
good.
pretty cold, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I like cold. It's fine.
Yeah. Was it like
Yeah.
cold to the point that you're like, or was it like, and then you okay?
I didn't moan. No.
No.
No, it was cold to the point where I was like, okay, I can deal with this. Pretty sure a lot of people don't, and that's also fine.
Yeah. So what helps you deal with that? Is it that you've done it a lot? Is it that you have a certain mindset with it, or because it's an interesting thing, going into the cold is something very powerful, but I think a lot of people also listening to this will be like, yeah, fuck no, not me. It's way too cold.
What helps me deal with that? Little bit of sadism, I guess. Yeah, just like and then in sort of like a southern accent, right? Like, you deserve it,
Sadistic,
boy.
or do you mean masochistic?
Sadistic and masochistic. I think both.
Masochistic
Both.
is for yourself, no? Sadistic is for someone else.
Yeah, it was for myself and for someone else.
Yeah, so that you can look at them seeing the pain, and so you can feel the pain and be like, ah, so good.
Exactly. Yeah. And
No,
they
but
were
seriously,
experiencing
what
love
is it for
from
you?
that.
What is it that what is it that why you can handle that so much better, or you can just go through that more easily?
I just the moment that I step into cold water, or when I take an ice shower or ice bath, I just immediately feel at ease. It's so easy for me to connect to it, and maybe somewhere, maybe even spiritually, I connect to my being, my essence of cold. I feel very calm. My breath immediately goes down. It really eases my mind. I feel like I'm starting a meditation whenever I'm facing the cold.
Also, like in the middle of winter, you do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and then how do you do that? Because I've done it as well, but sometimes, especially last year, I didn't do it consistently. So every time I did it, it was just really intense, and then like I cannot meditate. It's like so crazy.
That you go up like this.
No, my breathing specifically is just like
Yeah.
I get in and it's like it's like getting to the hyperventilation, right? Like trying to balance that is already so difficult. I try to put all my attention on that, but is there something that you do or a way that you prepare yourself to make it easier for yourself?
Most of the times I do the 4x4 breathing exercise. That
Which
I
is?
believe it's 4-4-4, right? So 4 times you breathe in, then 4 times you hold it.
4 seconds.
4 seconds. I mean, 4 seconds. Then you hold it, and then you let it out. Then you breathe in, hold it, let it out. Breathe in, hold it, let it out. For about a consistent 6 to 7 minutes, maybe something like that. And then longer, the breathing out, slower breathing in. So it's like 4 seconds in, hold for 2 seconds, let go for 6 seconds. And after that, I go in. And I don't just jump in. It's more like very slowly going in.
Okay. And what does that breathing do? Why is that important to do that before you go in?
Breathing is very important because you're already you're already adjusting or preparing your body for the shock that can come with cold or more extreme cold, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you do it in the winter. And my body, I mean, for me, sort of easier slips into it. So I don't feel this. It's more like, and then go further in. At first, a little bit of like my arms start shaking a little bit, and my legs start shaking a little bit. But the core right here, the chest, the core, abdominals, organs around there, there's no shaking there. It's pretty stabilized.
And then you just stay very present with every kind of step you do deeper into the water.
Yes.
Okay. So you don't recommend it, because what I've done is usually I just kind of like I say something like the cold is my teacher as an affirmation to get myself into a state where I'm accepting of the I can definitely call it pain that I'm experiencing. But then I also just jump right in because I don't want to have this slow burning of but at the same time I think it's also beautiful what you do because you stay really present with every movement and every sensation. Is that what you recommend?
Well, I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, it's. I think it really depends on the type of body that you have, on the response that you have when it comes to cold. I mean, some people have the same body type but have a totally different response to it. So, also, I also believe that it has a typical different outcome whenever you're still facing emotional how do you say blockages, emotional.
Okay. So it's different to go into the water when you're having emotional blockages. Can you explain that?
I believe so, yes. Also when you're still facing some trauma responses, or when there's something unresolved within yourself.
Because then what do you think, it comes up, or what happens?
Well, I mean, in my own experience, when I was still dealing with some emotional things, and also definitely a little piece of trauma that was not resolved yet, the response to cold water, or to extreme cold, or to extreme cold as we know it as people, as human beings, was immediately like this, like immediately a fear came up. Felt very confronted by this extra layer.
And now that you're enlightened, that doesn't come up anymore.
I'm not enlightened, but I mean, I love my life. I'm really happy in my body, and I think that until now I definitely leveled up wherever I could. But no, yeah, I mean, enlightened, I don't know. Maybe at one point I'll be I'll not be the Dalai Lama, but I'll be just a lama.
Just a lama.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just spitting at people. Here, feel enlightened. Here.
Feel enlightenment. I'll spit you into enlightenment.
Be careful, or I'm gonna moan. No.
Well, in a way, I guess we are, because when you spit on someone, they get triggered, and then they have an opportunity to look at the trigger, solve the trigger, become more enlightened.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Set up those workshops, man. I'm sure people are gonna.
Yeah, I think that if you create a business around that, Martin, and you just really sell your spit
it out.
to have them here, you call it spit it out. You spit on people, they pay you for it, and then they need to express what it does to them.
Sounds like something that happens in Bergheim, but okay.
No comment. So eventually, if you do it, if you jump into the water, or if you're slowly going into the water, you stay in it for how long?
That depends. I think it's between 2 and 6 minutes, something like that. Take a little bit of a dip, you know.
Yeah. And then you come out. What do you notice? What do you feel?
I need a towel.
Cold. Give me the towel. I'm cold.
Yeah. What I feel is almost being indestructible. Yes. A very, very, very victorious feeling. That I cannot easily compare to other moments that I felt invulnerable.
Powerful. Yeah, I think that's the biggest reason. Like, however shit or cold it can be beforehand, when you come out of it, it's phenomenal, no?
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing is, whenever it is cold, like cold weather, I can absolutely not deal with it. Just cold weather itself, like my hands turn purple. I don't like it. I want to be as warm as possible. But whenever I face more extreme colds and there's water in the, like it's cold water or it's ice bath or you know anything that's there, then I absolutely feel at home, which is a very strange contradiction, right?
Yeah, because it's also said that if you take a lot of cold baths, that you can also handle the cold more, and that you can even, of course, like Wim Hof, it's minus 10 degrees outside, and you walk with just your shorts outside, and you're like, yeah, I'm fine. But you don't feel that.
Well, yeah, when it goes to like really cold, like more extreme colds, right? That's what I like. But when it's a little bit above that, then I feel not at ease.
So you prefer to have minus 10 than 5 degrees?
Yes.
I guess you're unique in that then. It's a very unique position to have. Definitely not my position. And how often do you swim also in winter? How often do you go into cold water?
Ooh. That really depends. I mean, I would love to do it once a week or twice a week. Not always possible though, but I definitely try once in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay. I think that also makes a difference. You know, I when I lived in Amsterdam, I did it every single day because it was just walking out of my backyard right into the canal. And it wasn't the canal in central Amsterdam. It was more in outside where it was better, cleaner water.
Oh, yeah.
And I would just jump in there, and at one point I did it every day. Started also in a good timing, you know, starting in end of September is a good timing because then it gets colder and colder, but you get used to it, so it's easier to then stay with it in the winter. Yeah. And that was last year. This year I started only in like January, and then I just wasn't able to keep it up every day. But I noticed that as soon as I do it every day, then it takes like a week maybe.
Yeah.
And then my body's also used to it more, and it changes. But if I then don't do it for another couple of weeks, then it's like starting over again, in a way. So I think it's really, when you do it, like, it's really good to have it also as a habit, you know, having like a barrel in your backyard or something with cold water in it.
That's just what I was gonna say, because I was already thinking of ordering an ice bath, like a real, like a barrel, like a real proper one,
Nice.
So you can do it either every day or every 2 days, but keep the habit in it.
Exactly.
Start the day with that. That's amazing. I mean, it's so good for your body.
Yeah. We have an ice canal here, and it gets even so cold that in the winter, because it is flowing, it's coming from the mountains, and it's flowing quite quickly downstream. So even when it's below 0 degrees in the water, it doesn't freeze because it's still streaming, flowing.
Yeah.
The stream is flowing. So it gets really, really cold. And then, of course, moving water alongside your body that's moving faster than you're moving, it makes it even colder.
Yeah.
But it's like right here. It's like 2 minutes walking. I just have to get out here, walk across the football. There's a football field there. You walk across it. There's the place to jump into the water. So when you visit here, we'll do that as well. It's of course, absolutely. A little bit of easier to do now. I mean, I've been doing it a lot in the last month because now it's like doable. It's cold, but it's not anymore like, it's not anymore so cold. It's not anymore the ball freezing cold. It's doable. It's doable. Nice. And I love it after a run. When I go for a run, I'm done. Then at the end, I jump in the water, and it's cool because this water is flowing. So what you can do is you can use it as a workout as well.
Yeah.
You just swim against the stream, and then you basically, if you swim on the hardest, the fastest that you can, as long as you're not a professional athlete, at least, then maybe you can swim upstream. But I cannot swim upstream. I basically just stay in the same position if I swim at the fastest pace.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And otherwise, what?
You float with the stream, and then there's just multiple places where there's stairs. So at one point you choose, okay, I do 10 meters, 20 meters, 50 meters, 100 meters, and then I maneuver myself to the side. I climb on the little stairs and I get out.
Wow. But you cannot there's no danger in it.
No, because it's like a created. It's not like a river, It's like a created canal. It's you can basically stand there. So
wow, that's so cool.
I mean, you couldn't stand there because of the current, but you can't really drown because you can always kick yourself up again.
Yeah. The current doesn't take you away.
No, it can't be. You can just if you miss the stairs, you just have to get the next one.
Yeah. I mean, such is life, right? Stairs, you gotta get the next one, man.
Yeah, man. Sometimes we miss our checkpoints. We miss the place we want to go, and then we can whine about it, or we can be like, okay, well, what's the next place I can get out? I can achieve my goal.
And then we get out, and then we moan about it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, especially with you, a lot of moaning. Well, if it's that cold, then I cannot even do that, It's too small to moan.
To moan? Yeah, it's never too small to moan.
Well, to properly moan from a place of real enjoyment is definitely difficult then. It needs a bit of warming up.
Oh, talking about enjoyment, how is that going? Are you still... The
Orgasmic Mastery.
Yes.
So far, so good. It's a beautiful course that really helps to move the energy up, right? And it's I'm noticing how there's a lot more energy in my system, also in relation to Leia, that we have just deeper connection. And I'm every morning doing this qigong practice. It's called a sexual qigong practice, where you're also moving the energy around, and I have a feeling that it's really good. Like it become more sensitive to energy, to subtler sensations, so to say. Yeah. It's definitely recommended. Maybe you want to do it too. Definitely recommended, this program. It is also, you need to really do the practices.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to ejaculation, it's definitely something that's not always easy, because there's this kind of like if 100% would be the moment that you ejaculate, then as soon as you get a little bit close to the ejaculation, there's also this mental switch that goes into like, oh, I want to ejaculate.
Yeah.
So when we were practicing, which is called edging, which is getting close to that ejaculation point, but not going over it, there's a space there. So it's basically, if you ejaculate is 100%, usually for a lot of men, ejaculation and orgasm is the same thing. As soon as you ejaculate, you have your orgasm. Mm-hmm. But actually, those two things can be separated. Mm-hmm. And when you're on that edge and you're learning certain techniques with your perineum and with your breath, then what you can do is you can get into the orgasmic state and have this amazing feeling that we have when we ejaculate throughout our body, not just localized below, but as everywhere in your body. But you don't ejaculate. You just have the orgasm, which means that you can continue having orgasms, because often ejaculation for a man implies afterwards pretty much finished. Maybe you need a break and you can continue, but often it means being finished, being done, losing sexual energy, losing sexual attraction. And then in that moment to be able to still continue and actually only build up the sexual energy, it's really incredible. Like, imagine just having sex for hours and hours and hours on end, where the point is also not anymore to have the ejaculation. The point is simply just to enjoy the moment. Yeah. But the moment is so full of so many different sensations, and that's this orgasmic state. And I'm getting better at that. I believe there's a lot more to attain. Kind of the idea of the teacher there is that if the ejaculation is 100%, then you can kind of pass by that through this orgasmic mastery, so that you can come to a point where you can have an orgasm that's on like 200, 300, or even 400% of a normal ejaculation without ejaculating.
This sounds very interesting.
Makes you moan.
Makes you moan, yeah. No, I mean, I'm definitely up for trying or experimenting. I had these minor experiences where it didn't go to the point of ejaculating, but staying in front. And moments that I did that, I do recognize that it was easier to still go on, right? There was no need. I mean, to be honest, there's never a need for me when it comes to sexual intercourse to ejaculate. Like, this
really?
has to be... No.
Not also a moment where you get so horny and you get so caught up in the act and that you're feeling so much, and then you have this, like, you know that the ejaculation is close and there's certain movements you can make or something like that, and then you're like, oh, it feels so good to have that. And then basically your mind seduces you to have it, and then to focus on it. Yeah.
Well, some aspects could make it more difficult, whereas the lady would say, oh, you can come. Or
that's sexy, right? It's sexy when a woman does that, no?
That is freaking sexy.
Yeah, there's something to that. As soon as that is like, I want you to come. It's like, oh, hey, wait a second. That activates something.
Yep, that's true. That's the most difficult hurdle there.
You want to give it to her as well, right? You're like, okay, you want it? I mean,
any possible way.
I told you, I don't do that shit. I'm too spiritual for that shit.
This is too intimate for me. No, it's that's definitely the most difficult hurdle. But in all honesty, when that's not being addressed, I don't necessarily feel I want to come now or I need to come. I want to enjoy like the whole process. I'd rather, keep going for about an hour in any, possible way. Just really flow with it. And maybe here comes the part of willpower versus flow. Willpower, like against flow, like just enjoy it.
Enjoying it fully, yeah.
Yeah, just enjoying it fully.
And then it can still happen, right? It can still be that at one point you're flowing and then suddenly there's some kind of movement, but you were not thinking about it, you were not preparing for it, and it just happens that it comes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but those are the best moments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because then there's no force, There's nothing.
And there was no like goal that you would need to move towards. I think that's just one of the most freeing things for any men that are listening to this, or for any woman that wants to advise this podcast to a man, men, really, it's so worth it. And you might be thinking that this is hocus pocus, what we're talking about right now, because it's something that is just so out there, and you're like, no, but I want to focus on that. I mean, that's the enjoyment of it, right? That's really where it's, and I get it. I was there too, but there is actually a possibility where the enjoyment of every single movement and every single sensation becomes so pleasurable that it becomes ejaculatory, like orgasmic in its own way. And then there's really just no need. Plus, we're living in a world where we're constantly achieving goals. We're constantly moving towards something. So being able to just relax back down into the present moment, it's actually a form of meditation to do that. To do that with your partner, or even to do it yourself. If you practice, which is one of the practices during the Orgasmic Mastery course, to do what they call self-pleasure exercises, where for 20 minutes you are jerking off without having per se the goal. You're just doing it from the movement, and you're just being present. You're not supposed to take any external stimuli like porn pictures, not even thoughts in your head about specific people or whatever. Just pure focus on the sensation, and without goal, allows for your body to adjust itself to pick up more subtle sensations and enjoy the more subtle sensations as well. Yeah. And that's incredible. No.
It's interesting that you pointed out the part of porn, because when it comes to visual images, well, I mean, that's both the same, but yeah. When it comes to visual parts of porn, or like videos or photos or anything right there, and I remember whenever I jerked off to that, the pleasure and the necessity and the feeling towards ejaculating was so much different, opposed to when I really took the time, lit up some candles, just really, like set up a mood, right?
Yeah, really like a ritual.
Yeah, had some like nice music going on, and then just really. Then I also saw images like going on, but it was more like nature. I saw the sunrise coming up and stuff like that. I mean, jerking off the sunrise is way better than jerking off the porn. And I also noted that
I love that picture in my head. Yeah.
I also noted that the final part or way of ejaculating and the moment of coming was so much different. Like there's like this just a little like, okay, impact, that's it, this was porn, cool, I came, okay, cool,
move on.
Yeah, exactly, move on, versus the part where I'm like, oh yeah, like a real, it was just like a freaking eruption,
eruption moan.
Yes, and also in like the like how the liquid, how it came out, it was just like a little poodle when it comes to the porn part, but like a full lake when it comes to the ejaculating on the sunrise, like on just my own way, without any added porn or added pornographic thing whatsoever.
Moral of the story is, if you want to have children, ejaculate looking at the sunrise. You increase your chances by 67%.
Definitely, yeah. Thank me later. No, but that's, I mean, and also, I mean, I believe that porn could also be a very dangerous addiction, which totally sets you apart from connecting to your own feelings and being more intuitive, and instead being more in like a zombie modus, right? Like, okay, So this is porn. This is how it should be. Maybe it can also distract you whenever you're having the real connection or intercourse with a woman, and then your mind is being influenced by watching that in a pornographic way, and sort of like unconsciously, you're also seeing that porn model right in front of your eyes in some way, right?
Yeah, projecting
that's
maybe that even so that you are not present with the person in front of you, but you're projecting someone else in there.
yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have done it. I remember teenage times when I started to have more sex than I actually remember. Not often, but I have done that before. And it's incredible because you're so not present whatsoever with the energy. And it is really, really incredible to notice that when we talk about this, when you have this goal, which of course also what porn does, right? It's very goal oriented. There's like this, even a way of how it's supposed to be done. You know, maybe you start with kissing a little bit, then you take clothes off, then there's the jerking off and the fingering, then there's the licking and the sucking, then there's penetration, there's like 3-4 positions, there's the ejaculation, and it's done.
Yeah, and it starts with the cum shot, or it ends with the cum shot. Like,
Yeah.
so this is how it should be.
Yeah, that's where we're moving towards, and everything before that is with that goal to move towards that, and it's. Yeah, it then fucks you up because you go into the sexual into the sexual intercourse. You go and you do it like that. I know, but it's like you go into it with that energy. It's terrible because you're not present at all with what's going on in this specific moment. And I love having had women more in my recent years. You know, I connect more with women that are also more connected to their intuition, to their feelings, that are not just letting a man just fuck them even though it hurts, because that's of course also something terrible that a lot of women don't even allow themselves to speak out because they think they just have to pleasure the man, because that's also a programming that they have. And then having women that are actually present with their intuition and are able to set borders, are able to express what they are needing. It's really refreshing, because then in the moments that I go into this more focused on a outcome kind of sex, automatically I get the feedback. Like, whoa, slow down, wait. You know, they feel even it's not about the speed. You know, I can be super fast and present in the sex, and they'll like it. But if I'm suddenly changing based on the fact that there's in my head this moment of like, oh, maybe ejaculation, or maybe we're moving towards, then suddenly there's like this error, and like girl's vagina is like closes, and it's like, no, stop, that hurts. And I love that. In the moment I don't, because that animalistic desired ejaculatory biology man in me then is like, fuck you, I just wanna. But then my conscious side of me is like, no, wait, perfect, that's exactly what I'm needing. Breathing in, breathing out, let's stay present. And then just also, whilst staying inside of her, just breathing deeply into my balls, just feeling the sensations, feeling everything that was before, just to come back fully into the moment, breathing maybe even together in unison so that we can feel each other's energy again. And then there is also, when you are present, there's a beautiful natural flow where suddenly there's maybe an energy moving again, and then you notice and you start moving your hips again, you start moving in her again, but then it's perfect. She moves with you. There's this flow, this ebb and flow where you're moving with each other, and there's no anymore you are doing the sex is being done through you.
Yeah.
And now you're almost becoming one with each other, where you don't even notice each other's borders anymore, and there's just this ecstasy that you're moving through by just being. And then maybe it moves up a little bit, and then it moves down. There's no need to move up and contraction, and because the contraction is the ejaculation, right? More. You know, your breath also becomes more shallow. There's this continuous breathing cycle, and there's this and then there's like and it's even processing something, right? There's emotional layers that come up. If you're deeply breathing through all this energy, sexual energy is one of the beautiful tools to also have. Oh my God, I feel super vulnerable right now. There's this feeling in the belly suddenly that there's like everything's opening, and you're like, oh, am I still safe here? And there's there's so many more layers to it that if we embrace them all, it really opens us up to getting to know ourselves, to getting to know our partner, and to having the most deeply spiritual experience. Yeah, by just being with each other in bed.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I second that. The last period of time, there's a little bit of a build up there. So there's been more experiences that I also experienced it this way. Before it was just pure animalistic. It's so beautiful. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you experienced this in a more in-depth way. Yeah. Depth way. Damn, that's a word that I cannot pronounce in English.
Depth.
Depth.
Yeah.
It's like depth.
Yeah, it's like depth, but then with a sound behind it, basically.
In depth.
Yeah.
Depth.
You got it, man. Good enough. Good enough.
I get it.
Yeah.
So, you experience it in a more in-depth way.
Yeah, who's to say? I mean, everyone's experience is unique, but I've definitely consciously practiced a lot over a lot of years. I've consciously practiced this already a lot. So the course that I'm doing now is just another getting more in depth with it for myself.
In depth.
Yeah, in depth.
Did I customize you satisfactorily? Oh no.
Little tension. No, it's definitely something that I've been practicing, but it's difficult to say what's more in depth. I mean, it's really just about presence, and also all these things that I'm learning. There's another side to it, because the other side to all of this learning, this orgasmic mastery, and this idea of going beyond your ejaculation. I've even had periods where I judged myself for having an ejaculation. Like the moment that I would come, even if it's not on purpose, I'd be like, oh shit, that's also not what you want, right? You want to be able to then fully enjoy it, because then I was like too much focused on the goal of not ejaculating, and you did the same thing, but then on the other side. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. No. Well, I mean, it's a funny struggle. But
and what does come up, just because of course I love manifesting. Yeah. That is one of the best moments to manifest. If you're in this deep connection with a woman, and then in that moment you start together either talking about it if you're comfortable with it, or just visualizing whilst you're in this orgasmic pleasure, like all these things that you want to experience in your life, because it's so much easier to think about it in that moment. And in Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Get Rich. No, is that correct?
Yeah.
Grow Rich. That's it. Yeah, that's it. From Napoleon Hill, there was a chapter, and it's been put back again, but there was a chapter, I think it was chapter 12, which was about sexual transmutation, meaning how incredibly powerful it is to use sex as a way of manifesting a new reality, because it's so much energy. And if you then channel that to a specific desire or a specific outcome that you want to experience, and you do that together, so you're being fully present, and you're, for example, expressing these things together with your partner, and you're just enjoying at the same time, being very present, then it moves mountains. And it was to the point that, at least the story goes, I never verified it, but the story goes that there was a chapter in his book that was taken out because people didn't want, let's say very rich people didn't want the normal people to know the power of this. So they even, like, whilst the copies were going out, and this is a book from the beginning 1900s, they were revoking it and taking out the chapter, basically. Yeah. Very powerful thing to do. Very interesting also to practice that with your partner. It's also interesting from a perspective of feminine masculine, that if your partner is really in a receiving state, then when you are the, because of course also in sexual, if a man is penetrating, he's in that sense giving and the woman is receiving.
Yeah.
Then if you also implement that in regards to the manifestation, that the woman is just a blank, empty mind, letting her mind be fully empty and still. And then whilst you are having sex, you just say all the things that you desire. Say all the things you want to manifest. And let her just receive it and feel it. Now you're using the combination, the kundalini, basically, of the feminine and the masculine spiraling upwards as a tool to really manifest amazing stuff. If your woman is able to do that really well, and you're in that giving and you do it with so much energy as well, then yeah, it's powerful.
Wow. Okay. There are things I'm looking forward to when it comes to finding a partner and doing stuff.
Yeah. Nice little exploration.
Nice little exploration. Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, very powerful. Yeah, some interesting topics. I think we're going to start closing off. We're already an hour and 20 minutes in, man. Time flew again. Yeah. But it was really definitely interesting. If there's people that want to reach out in regards to the community that I went onto, then definitely reach out. If you have any types of experiences that you want to share regarding anything we shared today, also regarding the orgasmic mastery and anything like that, very welcome to reach out in any kind of way. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever way, shape, or form you can. We're always interested in hearing other people's experiences on these topics. Any last words from our Martin inspiration?
Any last words? Well, if you're if you're really good in experiencing or receiving that kind of sexual power from the ways of how you can manifest, and if you're between 24 and 38 years old, and if you feel like I love the voice of that Martin, then do let me know. Yeah.
And it can also be a guy, or
no.
Yeah, you did specify.
A woman, a lady who knows herself. Very good. No, I'm just kidding. I mean,
you're welcome.
Well, yeah, you are still welcome to reach out, of course. No, but I'm definitely, I am very convinced that within a year, 1 year or 2 years, probably within 1 year actually, I will connect to a very, very, very interesting lady who I can truly build with. Yeah, that's what I'm manifesting.
So deserve that, brother.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And until that time, I'll just keep fucking like I'm single. No, joke.
Like
joke,
a bunny.
Seriously. No, seriously, a joke.
How many kids do you have walking around in this world?
I don't know. But
how's your pull-out game?
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever they reach their age of like 16 or 18 years, and then they're like, "You're my daddy." I'm like, "You're right." No,
Terrible.
No, that's terrible. No. I am actually very selective the last period of time, and I would like to keep it that way, because I'm actually there is a part of seriousness that has really established within myself. And the funny thing is, when I was visiting my friends in Utrecht, the Rens guy, he told me like, "Hey, I'm suddenly seeing a transformation here." He suddenly, from night to day, his perception of me changed. He didn't see me anymore as the party goer or as the guy, to fool around with, but he started seeing a very mature confidence, which was fucking amazing. And he was like, "Let me give you a hug, man, because I love seeing this way." He was like, "You absolutely ooze mature confidence right now."
Beautiful.
So
beautiful that a friend also respects that, instead of seeing like you change and be like, "Why are you changing? Oh, I don't want you to change. Stay the same." That they're respecting that and loving that.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. So I guess those are my last words. I felt very thankful for that, and I also feel that there is some transition coming up in myself right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, and so important to have the right people around you that can see that and can clap for that and acknowledge that. I think that's the essence of where we can move towards if we do this work sexually or in community aspects or sitting alone, going within. All of these ways are beautiful for that.
Aho, brother.
Aho.
Aho.
Yes, then much love to everyone and see you guys next week.
See ya.
Ciao.